And what about the other subjects? सबैको भ्याइयो? ए सबै सक्यो है? Okay. Hopefully, it's a short chapter, and maybe we'll conclude today. Let's see. Uh, so this, the last chapter, okay, fire suppression system. This is not very technical. It's more informative type of chapter, okay. Very technical science, I know. So here we'll discuss about the following things, okay, key terms. Emergency power off, EPU switch. What is EPU switch? Very early smoke detection apparatus all around VESDA, okay, and air sampling or aspirating smoke detection. पहिला पहिला चाहिँ traditional smoke detectors हरू हुन्थ्यो भने nowadays we use ASD, okay, and in sprinkler systems, okay, this means sprinkle गर्ने जस्तै पानी बारीमा पानी हाल्नेलाई पनि we call it as sprinkler, okay. So the which sprays mist, air, or CO2 or water, okay. In case of fire, then we call that as sprinkler, and it's on the ceiling, okay. There's the ceiling mount, huh? And gaseous fire suppression, so it can be chemical or inert gas we use for extinguishing fire. We'll discuss about these terms in this chapter. So fire suppression system, these are designed to extinguish fires or at least prevent them from spreading, okay. They work by dispersing water or chemicals or even gas, okay, at the site of potential fire when sensors detect signs of an emergent fire, and some system can be manually activated. Some systems, there are some systems for manual activations, okay, but where there is electricity, where there are systems, where there are servers, okay, the chances of fire are always there, okay. Also, like sometimes even like there are cases that you get fire when you connect to USB, okay. So sometimes, yes, there can be potential fire when you have all these electronic gadgets and also electrical. Minimally, fire suppression should consist of the following components. One is fire detection system that detects actual fires, okay. So there should be a system that can detect fire, like smoke detector, okay. An unmistakable fire alarm that includes both a high volume noise and flashing lights. Alarm पनि हुनु पर्यो. It could be noise and then light as well, both of them, so that everyone is aware there is fire. Portable fire extinguishers placed in multiple locations, so there should be fire extinguishers as well, portable type, okay. So anyone can just take it and spray in case of fire. An emergency power off switch. So if there is electricity, this emergency power off switch, they नेपालको केसमा त कतिको युज भएको छ थाहा छैन. In case of West, okay, you can turn whole grid off. है, तपाईहरुले इन्फर्म गरिदिनु भयो भने टोटली ग्रिड नै डाउन हुन्छ with this emergency power off switch, like यानिएको ग्रिड नै पुरै डाउन, totally power off. And then the actual fire suppression agent that won't damage or destroy the equipment. अब तपाईको रुममा छ भने you can spray water, okay, but if there are servers, just imagine when you spray waters on server, it causes immense damage, okay. So fire suppression agent for the servers, maybe like a mist or maybe the chemical ones, okay. So we'll discuss about this as well. Fire detection equipment and systems. Early fire detection equipment was susceptible to several types of faults all around. And पहिला पुरानो ट्रेडिसनल टाइप अफ फायर डिटेक्सन सिस्टमहरूले चाहिँ त्यतिकै फायर अलार्म चाहिँ एक्टिभेट गरिदिने खालको हुन्थ्यो. ओके, सिग्नल द प्रेजेन्स अफ फायर इफ देयर अ ग्यासियस लिक फ्रम कुलिङ इक्विपमेन्ट. अब कुलिङ इक्विपमेन्टहरूको ग्यास लिक भयो भने पनि फायर अलार्म ट्रिगर गर्ने. अदर सिस्टम कुड बी ट्रिगर्ड इफ डस्ट वाज किक्ड अप अन्डर द रेस फ्लोर. कहिलेकाहीँ धुलो अलिकति उडिहाल्यो भने पनि फायर अलार्म ट्रिगर गर्ने. ओके, require that multiple sensors are physically separated must trigger an alarm. अनि multiple sensors राखिया हुन्थ्यो अनि त्यसपछि then they separately had to trigger an alarm. त्यस्तो टाइपको चाहिँ पहिला पुरानो ट्रेडिसनल टाइप अफ फायर डिटेक्सन इक्विपमेन्ट्स. ओके, typically, data centers were being protected with a traditional spot detectors such as multi-sensor detectors or optical detectors. Dust they use optical, and a gaseous suppression system over the area containing the rack. And where there were rack and servers, we use this gaseous suppression system. Okay, but these days we use ASD or air sampling or aspirating smoke detection instead of the earlier detection equipments. This ASD has the ability to detect the threat of a fire much faster than traditional spot detectors. अब continuously air sampling लिएको हुनाले, okay, then this has the ability to detect fire even before there is fire. Allows operator to either shut down overheating equipments or use portable extinguishers rather than relying on damaging water or other suppression technology that can increase cost. Our water sprinkle system or use गर्नभन्दा पोर्टेबल एक्सटिङ्ग्विसरहरू कुनै ठाउँमा, ओके, ग्यासियस टाइपको युज गरेर अपरेटर्सहरूलाई चाहिँ फायर एक्सटिङ्ग्विस गर्न with least cost. Okay, can be used in active fire protection consisting of central detection unit which draws air through a network of pipes to detect smoke. एउटा सेन्ट्रल सिस्टम हुन्छ अनि पाइप डिटेक्सनको लागि पाइप त्यो स्पेसमा फिजाइएको हुन्छ. ओके, इट विल continuously sample the air for smoke. ASD can typically detect smoke before it is visible to naked eye. ASDहरूको मेकानिजम चाहिँ स्मोक निस्कनुभन्दा पहिल्यै, ओके, त्योभन्दा पहिले फायर स्टार्ट हुनुभन्दा पहिल्यै इट क्यान डिटेक्ट फायर. ओके, फायर जस्तै धुवा निस्किनु, धुवा इन्भिजिबल धुवा, पहिला त एकैचोटि धुवा भिजिबल भएर निस्कदैन होइन. जब एलिमेन्टहरू हिट हुन थाल्छ, ओके, पग्लिन थाल्छ, त्यतिखेरै इट डिटेक्ट्स द स्मोक. System incorporate integrated monitoring to ensure an alert is read anytime the ASD is able to detect smoke is compromised. जतिखेर चाहिँ उसले smoke detect गर्छ, okay, there is monitoring system, okay, to ensure that alert is raised anytime ASD detects the smoke. ASD systems incorporate more than one level of alarm. एउटै मात्रै जस्तै sound मात्रै नभएर light मात्रै नभएर, so it can also like send you SMS, okay, send the fire fire or fire office, what you call fire damkal sewa, okay, like that. So it can have various different methods, okay, not only one alarm. So it can put alert on various forms. So fire protection system, normally the fire protection system we use, okay, is a sprinkler system or clean agent suppression system like gases, okay. And for fire protection system, we have this egress. Egress means exit. I talked about this in previous class as well. The first thing they will train you is the exit, okay, फायर भएको केसमा कसरी बस्ने, कहाँ जम्मा हुने, एक्जिट डोरहरू कहाँ कहाँ छ, एउटा ट्रेनिङ जस्तो, the first thing at your workplace, okay. So that is what you will be taught, and it is trained every year, हरेक year, 1 to 2 year, even if you are trained once, okay, again it's revised, okay. So there should be the training, so whoever works, they should know what the fire extinguishers are, हैन, त्यो कसरी अपरेट गर्ने, अनि एक्जिट डोरहरू, फायर एक्जिट डोरहरू कता कता छ, त्यो everyone should know, okay. And then there are other sprinkler systems and clean agent suppression as well, okay. And here you can see fire needs three components. One is heat, another is fuel, and third is oxygen. The mixing of these three things create the fire. So you have to have the mechanism to put out the fire. You have to remove the fuel source, okay, and you have to reduce the oxygen and also cool the material of what is burning. So you have to minimize all these three components to put out the fire. And then there is fire suppression system. You can see there, there is fire detectors, there are nozzles, okay, or sprinklers through which water or mist, okay, it's the very small tiny particles of water, okay, mist is sprayed, okay, or CO2, carbon dioxide is also sometimes sprayed through these sprinkles. VESDA fire detection equipment, this is one example, okay. VESDA is an acronym standing for Very Early Smoke Detection Apparatus, or Very Early Smoke Detection Alarm, whatever you say. They are essentially aspirating smoke detector ASD systems, okay. These are modern systems to put out fire. VESDA detection is ideal for areas that have high airflow. जहाँ एयरफ्लो बढी हुन्छ त्यस्तो ठाउँमा चाहिँ we use this VESDA. Conventional smoke detectors struggle to activate with high amount of air passing through their chambers. जुन ठाउँमा high air pass गर्नुपर्छ त्यस्तो ठाउँमा traditional smoke detectorsहरू, they might not be so effective, okay. VESDA detectors draw smoke from the aspirating pipes, and the holes in the pipe collectively capture the air and draw it back to the VESDA detector. So you have these VESDA detectors, you can see pipes are connected, okay. It will continuously take the sample, air sample from the space, okay, and then it will check for smoke. VESDA smoke detection is far more responsive than conventional smoke detectors. So these are more responsive, okay. They are more, they provide more accurate data, or they provide more confirmation with smoke detection. So for detection, we use these spot detectors, okay. Spot detectors, inexpensive, which are not very expensive, simple to deploy, okay. VESDA. Analog sensors for smoke, heat, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. So there are two components. One is carbon dioxide, okay. Another is carbon monoxide. So I don't know if you know about this or not. Carbon monoxide is more toxic than carbon dioxide, okay. Because this carbon monoxide, it many incidents have happened. तपाईँको यो जाडो महिनामा चाहिँ धेरै जस्तो कति इन्सिडेन्टहरू सुनिएको हुन्छ जहाँ चाहिँ आगो तापेर सुतेको मान्छेहरू दे नेभर वेक अप, ओके. द्याट्स बिकज अफ कार्बन मोनोअक्साइड, नट कार्बन डाइअक्साइड. कार्बन मोनोअक्साइड चाहिँ इट creates chemical reaction within our body, okay, and it can get into our blood circulation and create us unconsciousness, okay. It's very highly reactive. अनि जुन चाहिँ fully burn गर्दैन, okay, then fully burn, fully combine नभएको कार्बन चाहिँ अक्सिजनसँग, then this is carbon monoxide, okay, highly reactive than carbon dioxide. So it's not wise to burn fires while sleeping, okay, which can create carbon monoxide. And very early smoke detection apparatus, VESTA, okay, you can see like a small box, okay. They do a continuous sampling, highly sensitive, okay, allows detection of very low smoke levels despite higher movement. Higher movement भएको केसमा पनि थोरै स्मोक भयो भने पनि फायर सुरु हुनुभन्दा पहिल्यै it detects. You can see here in the figure number 1 return air grill sampling control unit, okay, and then second is overhead sampling control unit, and then the third is crack return air sampling control unit 1, 2, 3. So 3 sampling units are used here for in the VESTA system, okay, and there is also the type of smoke detectors to take the sample of air, okay. Fire alarms, there are actually these are actually coded requirements around the alarm. There are actually coded requirements around the alarms needed in data center environments. Okay, they could include the requirement for strobe lights and very loud sirens. There's just the alarmको केसमा चाहिँ हामीले फायरको लाइट, okay, blinking flashlights जस्तो flashing lights अथवा sound siren, okay. We have this one and other signs also we get like fire, pressure or pull down, okay, for fire alarm. So when you pull down, it creates the noise, okay, sound that there is fire, and lights go blinking. So everyone is aware that there is fire in the surrounding. Fire extinguishers placed in multiple critical locations, and there are also fire extinguishers nowadays in Nepal. Nepalमा पनि एउटा ट्रेन्ड हुन थालेछ. Every places now they have got fire extinguishers. Okay, many places, not every places, many places now you can see fire extinguishers. तर पहिला चाहिँ यो त्यति देखिँदैन थियो. Okay, fire extinguishers should be placed in multiple critical locations within the data center. They're often located at doors or columns and next to large piece of mechanical and electrical infrastructure equipments like crack units, PDUs, UPS. There's just the fire जहाँ generate हुने chances बढी छ त्यो लोकेसनमा चाहिँ you have to have fire extinguishers, okay. जहाँ नचाहिने ठाउँमा राखेर त कामै भएन. So where there is potential for fire leakage, okay, potential for fire, then we keep these fire extinguishers, and there are many forms of fire extinguishers. In the picture you can see there are wet chemical, CO2, water or powder, chemical powders can be used for fire extinguishing. Emergency power off switch. EPU switch is installed to shut down the entire data center in the event of an emergency. It's therefore firefighters to shut off all power in the event of fire. You need an EPU switch. However, over the years, they have caused more harms than good. Okay, EPU switch. So here's one example. In 2007, disgruntled means unsatisfied. Technician hit the EPU button at the data center that controls the electrical grid for the state of California. Californiaको full state लाई control गर्ने grid को उसले EPU switch तान्दैछ. Okay, he pulled the EPU switch. Then the FBI arrested him. The outage could have disrupted the power grid of Western US if it occurred during normal business hours instead of late Sunday night. उसले गरिदिएको चाहिँ Sunday night मा हो. त्यसले गर्दा full state कै power down भयो. But busy hour मा भएको है. So it could have affected the business hours and maybe loss of millions of dollars. Okay, so यस्तो EPU स्विच नेपालमा युज भएको त म छ जस्तो लाग्दैन. You cannot pull down the main grid, okay, with a button, but in the West, yes, you do. There is also like a handle or a gear or something like that in trains, okay. If you pull that one, then the train comes to halt, okay. Those are also the emergency switches, and if you pull without a reason, then you pay fines. Um, Although the risks are obvious, EPS switches are required at all data center tile levels in TIA 942, which requires shut-off systems must be grouped, identified, and readily accessible and located at principal exit doors. So EPS switches are normally uh, put at closer areas to exit doors. Okay. In order to minimize accidental activation of EPS switch, cover the switch and make activation a positive, intentional multi-step action. एकचोटि झ्याप्प थिच्न नमिल्ने खालको कभर राखेर अथवा केही गरेर नथिचिने गरेर ओके एक्सिडेन्टली त्यस्तो नहुने गरेर चाहिँ राख्दा इट्स मोर secure. Also make certain signs are posted in the language spoken by cleaning crews. So you have also some signs. Make some signs posted, okay, close to those EPS switch. So here are the samples of EPS switch. If you cover them, then you don't accidentally push it, okay. But it should be also easily available. तपाईँलाई धेरै टाइम लाग्यो भने नि समस्या हुन्छ. So this type of switches are known as emergency power off switch or EPUs, okay. Fire suppression agent. The fire suppression agent is the actual item that is used to extinguish the fire. So what do we use to extinguish fire? Then those are known as fire suppression agent. There are many available options ranging from overhead sprinkler systems to gaseous suppression. So एउटा gaseous suppression भयो, अर्को चाहिँ sprinkler. Like sprinkler system त्यति धेरै sprinkler system is like your shower, हैन. शावरमा जसरी पानी स्प्रे हुन्छ त्यसरी नै it sprays water or mist or gas, okay, carbon dioxide. And other gaseous suppression is only using gas, okay. We'll discuss about these two type of suppression systems. In sprinkler system, there is another also known as pre-action valves. के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि स्प्रिङ्कलर सिस्टममा पानी त्यत्तिकै त्यो सावरमा जस्तो पानी रेडी भएर बस्दैन, ओके. एक्चुअली द फायर्स आर the pipes are free of water or gas, anything, okay, or mist. त्यो पछि एउटा भल्भले चाहिँ रोकेर बसिरहेको हुन्छ. Okay, so when that valve is activated, then only there is the flow of water or gas or mist through that pipe to put out the fire. Okay, so that is known as pre-action valves. Overhead sprinkler systems are the most common form of fire suppression agent. Okay, normally फेरि यो type of water sprinkler systems, okay, we don't use for equipments. It can cause serious damage. Even this simple form of fire suppression come in several forms. The most inexpensive implementation will standard type sprinkler over the equipment. It should be noted, however, that data center sprinkler environment must be on a separate valve from any other sprinkler systems. So for data center, okay, for fire, you should have separate valve from, if you have multiple sprinkler systems, you should have separate valve for each of them. Pre-action sprinkler system. In pre-action sprinkler system, pipes normally do not contain any water. This minimizes the risk that a defective sprinkler head could cause damage to the equipment housed in the data center. तपाईको कन्टिन्युअसली पानी मात्रै त्यही राखेर छोड्दिने भने कुनैमा लिकेज भयो भने त you may not notice that one, okay. So So normally in pre-action sprinkler system, there is no water contained. Okay, so when there is an incident, only there is the flow of water or carbon dioxide. The presence of water in the pipes is controlled by an electrically controlled valve, which is known as pre-action valve, which is itself controlled by the smoke detection system. So that valve, known as pre-action valve, is controlled by smoke detection system. Two events must happen to initiate a sprinkler discharge. So two events. One is first, the smoke or fire detection system must trigger an alarm that there is developing fire, which opens the pre-action valve. This initiates water flow into system pipe, which effectively creates a wet pipe sprinkler system. त्यो smoke detect भइसकेपछि मात्रै त्यसले के गर्छ त pre-action valve open गर्छ, and then there is flow of water. Next is individual sprinkler head must release to permit water flow into the fire. त्यसपछि त्यो sprinkler system को headले पनि के गर्नु पर्यो, it should open to release the water or mist or carbon dioxide. Some pre-action sprinkler system pressurizes the dry pipe with pressurized air or nitrogen in order to detect leaks in the system. अब लिक छ कि छैन त्यो पाइपमा भनेर चाहिँ they use this pressurized air or nitrogen to detect leaks in the system. So there are three types of sprinkler systems. One is water sprinkler system, which distributes water. Another is CO2 system, which provides heavy blanket of CO2 gas, and other is water mist system. Okay, very small particles of water, very, very small, very ultra-fine particles of water. So in water sprinkler system, it consists of distribution piping system that is permanently attached to the building structures, valve stations, and sprinklers head that are firmly attached to the distribution pipe in the protected area, like we saw in the figure before. Water flows out from the sprinkler's head and sprays the area where fire is present. जहाँ फायर हुने जस्तै अफिस एरियाहरूमा धेरै जस्तो चाहिँ अफिस एरिया अफिस रुम्सहरूमा हैन त्यस्तोमा फायर भयो भने we use these water sprinkler systems because it is more cost effective. Okay. CO2 systems provide a heavy blanket of gas that reduces the oxygen level at a point where combustion cannot occur. तपाईको carbon dioxide मात्रै present भयो भने र oxygen भएन भने then the fire automatically is put off. Okay, oxygen नभएपछि fire के हुँदैन बढ्दैन. Because it's unsafe for people, CO2 is only recommended for localized application or areas generally inaccessible by employees or customers. जस्तै लिफ्टहरूमा आगो लाग्यो भने जहाँ इम्प्लोइज कस्टमर्सहरू हुँदैनन् त्यस्तो केसहरू अथवा जुन कम्पोनेन्ट्समा मेकानिकल अथवा इलेक्ट्रिकल कम्पोनेन्ट्स where people actually don't go. Okay. There is no presence of employees or customers, then we use these CO2 systems. If people are there, then they won't be able to breathe, okay, if you have these CO2 systems. Water mist systems improve upon the traditional water sprinkle system by producing ultrafine water droplets and using 50 to 90% less water than a fire sprinkler, resulting in little to no collateral damage. तपाईको मसिनो त्यो एकदम मसिनो पानीको कोणहरू हैन very small fine particles of water त्यस्तो mist बनाएर चाहिँ स्प्रे गर्ने. This is more effective because you don't make water too much wet with water हैन अनि water usage पनि up to 50% less. Okay, or up to 90% less. Only you use 10% water, 50 to 90. How big the fire is and how you want to make the mist, how the size of the mist. And you can see the pumps for the fire sprinkler system provides water flow to sprinkler systems. Energized during a fire event, pumps operate similar to mechanical pumps, provided with UPS and or generator support. So even if there is no power, this pump should work. Okay, so it has to have UPS system or generator connected to it. So dedicated fire room serves a campus sprinkler system. You can see in the figure there are pumps which sends water. Okay, and then diesel fire pump in pump room, electrical fire pump in dedicated closets. So you have all this pump for its sprinkler systems. Gaseous fire suppression. We discussed about the water and mist, okay, and carbon dioxide. But carbon dioxide is also the gas. But here we'll discuss about different type of gas that can be used to extinguish fire. Gas fire suppression, also called clean agent fire suppression, is a term to describe the use of inert gases and chemical agents to extinguish a fire. So either you use chemical or gas. Okay, normally it's clean agent fire suppression, then gaseous. Heading was a clean agent drug. It's better. Okay, I'll change the heading. The gases are referred to as clean agents because of their chemical compatibility with the atmosphere and environment. They contain the same chemical firefighting methods and characteristics offered by halon, which was the standard fire suppression gas used in the past, but do so with molecules much less offensive to the environment. Environmentलाई damage नगरिकन use गर्ने components or gases to extinguish the fire. The system typically consists of the agent storage containers, agent release valve, fire detectors, fire detection systems, which contains wiring, control panel, actuating signaling, agent delivering piping, and agent dispersion nozzle. So it consists of all the systems like we saw before in the figure. Okay. Gaseous fire suppression systems are particularly applicable for high value situations where a minor fire within a critical area should have serious financial repercussions for the business far beyond the cost of physical damage and lost production. So these are a little bit more expensive, okay? And these are for sensitive areas where you can have millions of dollars of damages. So to prevent that damage, we use this gaseous fire suppression or clean agent fire suppression systems. So there are two main types of gaseous fire suppression or clean agent fire suppression systems. One is inert gas. So this, if you have remember through your chemistry, all those inert gases, okay, which are not very active, okay, inactive. So this type of inactive gases are known as inert gases. So include nitrogen, argon, carbon dioxide, or combination of two or more gases, and reduce oxygen levels to the point where combustion cannot be sustained. So there is no um, uh, what it doesn't help to spread the fire. Okay, these inert gases. These gaseous agents are safe for both people and the environment. So these are, well, too much of carbon dioxide is not very good. Too much of nitrogen is also not very good. Okay, but this some amount of carbon dioxide and nitrogen, they do not affect the environment because they are already present in the atmosphere. Okay, that's why it's not like other gases that have health hazards. Okay, like carbon monoxide we discussed about. Okay, or other gases also, chlorine also. Okay, this can affect human beings. So there are some gases that are not good for humans. These gases are safe for both people and environment. Inert gases extinguishes fire based on the principle of oxygen depletion. So that is the decreasing level of oxygen, where the oxygen concentration is reduced below 15%, which is an acceptable level for human exposure, but insufficient to allow fire developments. तपाईँले स्प्रे गर्नुभयो भने it reduces the oxygen level to 15%. so people don't get affected, but the fire, okay, it is not enough for the fire to grow or to to become bigger. Chemical clean agents, it includes Icaro, okay, include Icaro 25, which is pentafluorine ethane. Ethane is the components with carbon, okay. So Icaro 25 is pentafluoroethane, okay, also known as HFC 125. And there is FM 200, which is HFC 22.7 EA, okay, that is हेप्टाफ्लोरोप्रोपेन प्रोपेन भयो भने नि फेरि HFC भनेपछि फ्लोरो कार्बन हुनुपर्ने कार्बनको कम्पोनेन्टै हो है प्रोपेन. So how many components, how many carbon it has got? So ethane, methane, ethyl, methyl, okay, propyl. So you have the terms according to the number of carbon that is present. Okay, if you have gone through organic chemistry, you know these terms. And there is also 3-MTM Novec TM, okay, 1230 fire protection fluid, and others, all of which offer fast-acting and most importantly, people say fire suppression solutions. This use the gas, okay. These all use chemical gas to put out the fire. Clean agents protect irreplaceable assets such as computer servers, electronics, artwork, archives, and more, as they produce none of the damage often associated with traditional water sprinkler systems. The computer servers or electronics or art or gallery or this type of chemical agents or inert gas are preferred instead of water sprinkler systems. Chemical agents generally act on fires by physical means by lowering the temperature of the flame and the fuel to the point at which the combustion process cannot be sustained. You have to know the difference. Okay. In case of inert gas, it provides 15%. Okay, it reduces the oxygen level to 15%. But in chemical clean agent, it decreases the temperature. Okay, when it decreases the temperature, then that is the one reason which helps to put out the fire. Okay, so you have to understand this one. So gaseous agents, you can see here, heptafluoropropane, okay, that's the compound, HFC, and fire suppression suppressants for white space. For data centers, we use FM 200, HFC 227EA, HFC 125. Okay, these are similar suppressants, remove heat, and carbon dioxide and inergen. Inergen is the mixture of 52% nitrogen, 40% argon, and 8% carbon dioxide. Okay, these three gases are combined together to form inergen. And then actual maintenance ensures operation when needed. Floor space needed for canisters storing the agent. So canisters is like boxes or spaces where you store the agent. And then like a can, okay, canister came from the word can. Tanks are under pressure to allow fast release. And if you create pump air into the tank, it creates the pressure, okay, and it helps to release the agent in faster space. Fire suppression water tanks. Whether your data center utilizes the multiple utility to, municipal utility to water supply water, or if it utilizes well, okay, you cannot be in the situation where your water supply is limited in the event of fire. So if you have a well, or if you use the municipal utility water power, okay, the risk is mitigating by installing a local fire suppression water tank at your data center location. अब त्यो पानी आउँछ भनेर त्यो कुरेर त भएन, so you have to have a separate water tanks, okay, for water suppression for fire suppression water tank. As a fire suppression water tank, you should have your own tank, okay, installed at data center. The size and location of this tank will be determined as a component of overall fire suppression design. कत्रो tank राख्ने हैन, fire suppression को कस्तो type of fire suppression राख्ने माने पर्छ. If you design for other type of suppressions like inert gas and chemicals or gaseous, then your water sprinkle system may be smaller, so you need a smaller type of design. Okay, but if you have bigger data center and your interface is more with the water sprinkle system, then you need a big tank to store the water. So what tanks are used to hold water near or on site? You can see fire, water storage, suppression tank. Okay, various different type of water tank. So it should store the water for a specific duration. It also should be designed with the flow that is required, amount to fill dry pipes needed too, and supports hydrants. Hydrants are like the sprayers, okay, and then standpipes, sprinklers. Okay, these should support. Okay, the tank should support these hydrants and standpipes and sprinkler systems. Important factor for the organization. So, what type of fire suppression you want to implement? Okay, so you should consider our कसैलाई maybe water sprinkler system or gases suppression system or chemical suppression system. So what is best for your organization, then you implement. So the terms to implement will the factors that affect for the decision making in implementing fire suppression system are cost effectiveness, design flexibility, environmental friendliness, and downtime or cleanup. So with cost effectiveness, with the recent introduction of low pressure water mist system, water mist has become a cost effective method for fire suppression. So from instead of water, okay, water mist has become more cost effective. Of the chemical agents fire suppression system, ICARO 25 is the most cost effective solution from an agent cost per pound basis. Cost per pound means per kilo one जस्तै per pound. Okay, so this is the cheapest. ICARO 25 is cheaper than other agents. Okay, design flexibility. Inert gas system provide the most flexible design options. Okay, and then environmental friendliness. Water-based systems and inert gas systems are the greenest option available than chemical, since water and inert gas are naturally occurring substance that we extract from environment and harness for use in fire suppression. Like nitrogen is abundant in the atmosphere. Among chemical agents, K FK5112, okay, is the most environmental friendly. Then downtime and cleanup. Traditional water sprinkle can produce as much damage to a building or its critical assets as a fire itself. तपाईले आगो त निभाउनु भयो, but if you have this water sprinkler system in equipments like servers, imagine if they will ever work again, so फायरले जति ड्यामेज गर्यो पानीले पनि उस्तै ड्यामेज गर्छ बाँकी रहेको जुन काम गरिरहेको इक्विपमेन्ट्सहरू हुन्छ. So water can cause the damage. Conversely, a chemical clean agent or inert gas would suppress the fire quickly with very little business loss as a result of downtime. तपाईको पानीको ठाउँमा क्रिटिकल एसेट्सहरुमा ग्यास अथवा केमिकल अथवा इनर्ट ग्यास युज गर्यो भने fire would be put off quickly, and also there is no damages, okay, additional damage to assets if you had used water. Application effectiveness. So another perspective is application. Where do you want to use this fire suppression? So if it's in commercial applications that include hospital, healthcare, school, libraries, or office building, places where people live, work, and do business, okay? So these are the commercial applications. For example, a hair care facility may use water mist to protect rooms, common areas, and backup generators, and a chemical agent like SFC 125 or SFC 227EA for server rooms and electronic medical equipments like MRIs. अब कहाँ commercial application मा पनि which type of fire suppressant you use, okay, it may vary, okay. You can use water, it is more cost effective, okay, and somewhere like electronic equipments you use chemical or inert gases. Industrial applications include factories and machine shops where things are made. Water mist and CO2 are most commonly used because of their cost effectiveness and type of hazards most commonly found in these environments. So in case of industrial applications, we normally use water mist and carbon dioxides if it's industrial applications. In irrepressible assets application like include data centers, telecommunication facilities, museums, and historical sites where critical assets are contained for the greatest protection and preservation of irrepressible assets such as server bag, user information, or historical artifact. Gaseous agents, chemical or inert, are ideal. So for this type of museums and historical sites, telecommunication facilities, data centers, the most preferred is either chemical or inert. So out of these various type of fire suppression system, so data center the preference for data center is chemical or inert. So when you are designing a data center, then when you have all this fire safety and this fire suppression system, then go for chemical or inert, okay. So discuss about the fire suppression system as well. Okay, finally we have come to the end, okay. So this is the end, and hopefully it leads to a new beginning for you, and thanks to all of you who have come. So any question regarding the topic we discuss? Is more informative, okay. There are different types and more informative. धेरै technical पनि छैन यो chapter, and I think most of the topics we discussed you have understood. Any question from anyone? Okay, so we do this much for today, and shall we put the meeting next week? Okay, next week we'll put on Friday. Okay, discuss about your assignment. What are the issues? How far have you gone? Okay, is that okay? Or when you want? When do you want you to discuss about your assignment? Any date? Any day? Any date? Discuss about it and let me know. Vijay?
Next Friday गरे हुन्छ sir.
Okay, we'll do next Friday. Okay, we'll do next Friday, 7 to 8, 7 to 8. Okay, we'll discuss about your assignment. How far have you gone? How far have you done? If there are any issues, okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, so catch you up next week. Have a nice day.